Hello everyone, this is Dr. MD Nazir Hussain from the Department of Political Science, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. In this video, we are going to discuss about the Right to Education Act in India. India, being the largest democracy of the world, is having 138 crores of population next to China in the world. While the literacy rate of India is around 69 to 70%, the overall literacy rate. Now we can imagine what was the situation of India 20, 30 years ago regarding the literacy rate. So it was an earnest demand from the side of Indian citizen that their right to education must be promoted and protected. In 2002, Constitution 86th Amendment Act incorporated Article 21A in the Indian Constitution, which talks about free and compulsory education of all the children for elementary education. It took another 6 to 7 years to bring consequential legislation under Article 21A. In 2009, Parliament of India enacted legislation under Article 21A on 4th August, and it was called as Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education, and it is popularly known as Right to Education Act, RTE Act 2009. Now, as in the title of the act, there are terms like free and compulsory education. So first of all, we will discuss about the meaning of free education, compulsory education. What is the meaning of free education? What is the meaning of compulsory education? So let us take first free education. Free education means that no child in India has to pay any fees, any charges, any expenses that can prevent them to pursue or complete elementary education. And these charges, these expenses includes school uniform, textbooks, stationery items and other related items. So this is the meaning of free education. Now the second term is compulsory education. The meaning of compulsory education lays that it is the responsibility of the concerned government as well as local authority to provide and to ensure the completion of free compulsory education to each and every child of India. So this is the meaning of compulsory education, which is itself there in the title of this act. Now this is a two-way process. On the one hand, each child of India is having the right to get free education. No charges, no expenses, no fees. And on the other hand, it is the responsibility of the government concerned authorities. So, government is accountable. It's a two-way process. On the one hand, it is our right. On the other hand, it is the responsibility of the government to promote and provide free education to the children. Now, the next point, this way what we see, India has moved toward rights-based framework of education. It is now the justiciable right, now the fundamental right. Right to education is now the fundamental right in India, and India has become 135th country in the world which made right to education as a fundamental rights. Now the next point, very briefly we have to discuss all these things. So the next point is, what are the provisions of RTE Act? First point that we have to discuss. RTE Act talks about rights of children. So there are three facets of this rights of children to education. One of the facet, that free education, compulsory education, that is one of the facet. Free and compulsory education is one of the facet. Second facet is till completion of elementary education. Third facet is in a neighborhood school. Rights of children to free and compulsory education till the completion of elementary education in a neighborhood school. These are the three facets under this act. Now, next point in the provision of this act is, it has clarified the meaning of free and compulsory education that we have already discussed. The third point under the provision of this act is, it's very important, and in case of India it becomes more important because many children throughout the country, they had never been admitted to any school. Non-admittal. They had never been admitted to any school of India. So in case of those students, those children, this act provides that their admission must be taken according to age appropriate class. For example, a child is of 10 years or 12 years. So according to their age, they must be admitted in an appropriate class. And for that, they must be provided certain assistance to bring up to that level of learning. Now, next point is, this act lays down norms and standards, including pupil-teachers ratio, PTRs, pupil-teachers ratios. And accordingly, this act says that appointment or deployment of teachers must ensure rural-urban balance. In the deployment of teacher, in the appointment of teacher, it must be ensured the rural-urban balance. Another standards laid by this act is regarding infrastructure, building, classrooms, other facilities, working hours, working days, etc. Next point under the provision of this act is that appointment of teachers must be based on their training. Trained teachers must be appointed. Next point under the provision of this act are certain prohibitions. Besides all these norms, there are certain limitations, prohibitions. So the first prohibition talks about prohibition of punishment. Any kind of physical punishment, mental torture, it is completely prohibited. Similarly, screening for admission. Under this act, screening for admission is prohibited. Similarly, any kind of fees is prohibited. Similarly, private tuition, very important in case of India. Private tuitions is not allowed by the teachers. As well as another important point, school without recognition, running schools without recognition is prohibited. So these are the prohibitions under this act. Now, another important point laid by this act, it says that it talks about the development of appropriate curriculum based on constitutional values and overall growth of children. Next point, again, which is very important in case of India. What we see, as I have already talked, that many children throughout India had never been admitted to any schools. So, in our evaluation system, so regarding these 2 points, this point is very important. It says that no child must be held back or expelled until class 8. And accordingly, it has suggested to follow grading evaluation system. It says grade appropriate learning outcomes. Finally, the last point for our today's discussion. Now, we have seen that right to education has become justiciable fundamental rights in India. So, through redressal mechanisms, anyone can move to the court for the compliance of Right to Education Act. Anyone can raise the voice for the implementation of Right to Education Act. I think this lecture will help you somehow during the days of lockdown, and I request all of you to stay at your home, stay safe, and pray that the entire world will be saved. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching my video. Stay safe.